Welcome back for another Home Sweet Pilates mat workout. It is absolutely freezing here today. So I have my beanie on, I have a long sleeve, I have two space heaters that you cannot see that are right here. This is definitely the bummer about working out in my garage is I need the natural light. So all that cold air is blowing on through, so hopefully getting moving will help to warm things up. So today we are going to do a mat workout, kind of like a foundational workout on finding core engagement. So we're focusing 100% on the core today, but that does not only mean right here. The core also includes your back body as well. So we will be doing a little bit of back body also. So I hope that you do not skip over this workout because it is very, very important in just your foundational journey for Pilates as you move on and grow into the more advanced exercises. Knowing how to properly engage your core is gonna make all the difference in you being able to do the exercises correctly and getting stronger. Okay, so let's get going. We are going to begin on all fours here. Let's take a breath. Hopefully you are not in a freezing cold garage like I am. We are going to begin here with some all fours abdominals. So let me tuck my shirt in here so that you can see properly what I am doing, okay? So there we go. Tucked in my shirt. So you have your shoulders and your wrists in a straight line and your hips and your knees in a straight line. Your back is nice and straight as well. I'm not arched here and I'm not rounded either. I'm in a nice straight line, okay? Now, keeping this straight line in my back, I'm gonna let my belly just hang, okay? I know it feels weird. We never like to do this, right? We always feel like we have to suck it in, but I really want you to let it hang. But don't allow your back to arch as you hang that belly, okay? Just let it go, but keep your spine straight. Now, take an inhale here. On your exhale, without moving your back at all, pull that belly up and in towards your spine. So I'm gonna inhale, exhale, pull it in. Hold it for a second and release it again. So here I'm pushing through my arms so my chest is nice and wide and open, right? So I'm not allowing my chest to fall. Everything is nice and straight. Take an inhale. On the exhale, really let that air push the air out of your mouth. So I'm not sure if you can see, but you probably can. You can see how my belly is rising, right? And then I release it. Let's do it again. So the key here, this is basically what we're doing, is learning how to engage those deep abdominals. I'm going to release it and do it again. We're engaging those abdominals without the use of anything else, right? So oftentimes what I see when people are trying to engage their core is they're actually bracing, right? So they're like pulling their tailbone in and under, pulling their chest forward, and they think that that is engagement. But really, you're just bracing the rest of your body. So here, we are learning how to lift without the use of our back, right? Let's do one more. Hold it here. Can you talk? Can you talk while your core is engaged like this? That's another skill to learn, right? Is you learn how to hold that core in while breathing through your ribs and allowing yourself to talk. Let's release it out. Awesome job. Okay, coming back to that neutral spot, we're just gonna do opposite arm leg reach, okay? So I'm gonna extend my left leg straight out, keeping my hips square. Right arm comes straight forward. Bring them both back in. We're not gonna crunch, we're just gonna bring them both back in, keeping our back neutral, okay? Extend them back out. The key here is to keep those hips square. Your hips are gonna wanna turn, right? So you need to be pressing into your arm and your knee that are on the ground. Now we're gonna add on, okay? So bring it in. Now press it out. Now, keeping your hips square, bring the left leg out to the left and the right arm out to the right, keeping them lifted. Bring them back to center and back in. Do it again. Reach, bring out to the side, back to the center, and back in. This is a sneaky core move, right? So your core is activated to help keep you stable and to keep your hips from rotating. Let's do one more. Hold it out. Rotate out. Bring it back in and back to center. Now let's switch to the other side, okay? So extend that right leg out. Left leg or left arm goes straight out. Let me fix my mat here really quick. It's like a pet peeve when it gets rolled up like that. Okay, so we're extended out. Bring them back to center. Remember, we're not crunching. We're keeping that back nice and flat, okay? We're just bringing it out and back in and out. I'm not resting my knee down. I'm keeping it lifted, right, as I bring it in. Push through that knee and that hand that are on the ground. Keep those hips square and your shoulders as well. Last one here. Hold it out. Now bring the arm to the left, the leg to the right, back to center, and in. Out, out to the side, and back in. This is some sneaky movement here, right? Just because something is foundational does not mean that it is easy. This is our last one. Bring it back in. You can rest back in a child's pose really quickly. Kind of rock those wrists out. Awesome job. Let's lie ourselves down. So let's move on to our back now. I'm gonna keep my shirt tucked in so you can see what I'm doing here. Okay. Probably should not have worn a baggy shirt, but I was way more focused on being warm. Okay, let's have our knees bent and our feet flat on the ground. Okay, our feet are about hip distance apart. Okay, so they're not super wide. They're not right together. They're about hip distance, okay? We're gonna do something called fingertip abdominals. This is a super, super, super small movement. You probably won't be able to see much here, so I'm just gonna talk you through it, okay? So we're lying flat on our back, knees bent, feet flat, okay? Take your fingertips and place them just on the inside of your hips here, okay? So just on the inside. Keeping your back straight on the ground. I don't want you to curve your tailbone under as we do this, okay? If anything else, don't do that. When I say I see people bracing, this is what I mean. So when I tell people to engage their core, they go like this, and they like crunch themselves in. We don't want to do that. What I want you to think about is simply lowering your belly down, okay? So your fingers are right on the inside of your hips here, on that kind of like fleshy part, okay? Take a big inhale. On the exhale, just pull your belly down and feel that fleshy part get kind of tight, okay? So it gets a little taut. It's almost like if you were to put plastic wrap over your belly right here and you're pulling it tight, that kind of feeling, okay? So we'll do it again. Inhale here, fill your belly with air. Exhale through your mouth. Lower your belly down without moving your pelvis or your shoulders at all. And it's just tightening this area right here, okay? I know it can be kind of hard to understand like what that is supposed to feel like, but the more that we practice and the more we do these kinds of exercises, the easier it will become. Okay, let's do it again. One more time. So I'm feeling it get tight. And then when I release it, it loosens up. Okay, now we're gonna do something called the pelvic clock. So I want you to imagine that your torso is a clock. Okay, so 12 o'clock is at the top of your torso here. 6 o'clock is at your pubic bone. 3 o'clock is at your left hip bone. And 9 o'clock is at your right hip bone. Okay, what we're gonna do is pretend that we have a little marble that we're rolling around in that clock. So you're basically gonna be moving your pelvis around, hence the pelvic clock, right? Moving your pelvis around to move that imaginary marble, okay? So let's start with that marble in our belly button, okay? Hands on your hips is totally fine. You can have them by your sides as well. I like to have them on my hips just to kind of feel what I'm doing, okay? Now, I'm gonna tilt my pelvis towards my head to roll that imaginary marble into the 12 o'clock position. Now, I'm gonna move it towards the left to go to 1 o'clock, then 2 o'clock, then 3 o'clock. So my right hip is higher than my left hip here. 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock. Now my pelvis is tilted forward away from my head. 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock. So now my left hip is raised more than my right. 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock. Now we're gonna go the opposite direction. So we're back at center, we're back at neutral. Let's roll that marble into 12 o'clock once again. Keep your shoulders relaxed. We're gonna go right this time, okay? So we're gonna go to 11 o'clock, 10 o'clock, 9 o'clock, left hip is higher, 8 o'clock, 7 o'clock, 6 o'clock, my pelvis is tilted forward, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 12. Is that confusing or are you tracking with me? Okay, it's a lot to explain, but it's so important. I know it feels like it might be kind of boring, but this is allowing you to get brain connection to your core, to your pelvis. We're connecting the two together, okay? Let's do one more each direction. So we go 12 o'clock, we're going to the left. 1, I'm gonna go a little faster. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. My lower back is lifted off the ground here. 7, 8, 9. I'm curling my pelvis back under. 10, 11, 12. Opposite way now. So we're at 12. Let's go 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 12. Got it? Okay, now let's move on to things that you probably are familiar with, okay? Let's bring our legs up into tabletop here. So when we are bringing our legs into tabletop, we have options, okay? If this puts too much pressure on your core, if you are newly postpartum, if you know you have abdominal separation, anything like that, please keep your legs on the ground and do it the opposite way. So I'll show you how to do it, okay? So if that is where you are, if you need to leave your legs down, what I want you to do is here. So I want you to bring your leg up and then lower it down. Bring it up and lower it down. The difference here is I'm not just lifting my leg from my hip flexors. I'm engaging my core, bringing my belly in and down so my entire back is on the mat, okay? Then I'm using my abs to lift my leg up and then bring it down. Up and bring it down, okay? The next step up, if you want to be with me, is bring your legs here into 90-degree tabletop. What we're going to do is hinge at the hip to lower one toe down and back up. Other toe down, back up. Lower and lift, lower and lift. If you need more support here, take your hands, bring them into a triangle or a diamond shape, place them right underneath your tailbone, and do the exact same thing. It just helps give you a little bit more support if you feel like your back is arching really badly or you're feeling like a really intense pulling feeling in your core. please put your hands under your tailbone or leave your feet down and do the marching, okay? So like I said, we're hinging from the hip here. So what you're not seeing me do is drop my toe like this. This does absolutely nothing. You're taking that leg, you're keeping the exact same bend the whole time, and you're lowering it down and back up. Lowering it down and back up. Keep your shoulders relaxed, keep your chest open and wide. Don't forget to breathe. Let's do one more on each side. Awesome job. Now we're gonna go into dead bug. So, more options here. If it is too much for you to have your legs up in this tabletop, keep your legs down, place your hands up towards the ceiling. But my chest is down. I'm not allowing my shoulders to go up in my ears. Shoulders are down, okay? Now, bring your left knee in towards your chest as you extend your right arm overhead. Lower it down, switch sides. Right knee comes in towards the chest, left arm comes overhead. The key here is the same thing as before. Engage that belly, bring that belly down towards your spine, okay? Use those abdominals to lift your leg up. It's a very slow and controlled movement, but moving this slowly and having proper control is way more effective than just going like this. This does nothing if I'm just don't have my belly engaged and I'm just using my hip flexors to lift, okay? If you want the fullest expression, be here in tabletop, arms are straight up towards the ceiling. Extend the left leg straight out as the right arm comes overhead. Bring them back to meet in center. Now right leg goes out as the left arm goes overhead. Bring them back to meet in center. Choose where you want to be. Do it with me wherever you are. If you feel your back is arching really badly, please put your feet down and do the dead bug march with your feet down, okay? I promise you, it is just as effective. I would so rather you modify and have proper engagement than risk injury, or especially if you are postpartum or you have core separation, it is not worth it to try to do the full expression of a move because it could make your separation worse, okay? Heal that first, then move on to the full expression. Okay, let's do two more. Last one. Beautifully done. Hug your knees into your chest. Let's take those knees, let's bring them out wide and circle them around. So we're just getting a nice stretch here, like we're stirring the pot, right? Let's do one more. Opposite direction. Now we go forward, bring them back, forward, bring them back. Two more. Last one. Now let's put those feet flat back on the floor, knees are bent. Okay, we're almost done here. Take those hands, place them behind your head. Your elbows are in your peripherals here. We're just gonna do some ab curls, almost like a little crunch, but we're moving very intentionally, okay? So here, what I want you to do is take that pelvis, tilt it under slightly, like when we did those pelvic clocks, and you brought that marble to 12 o'clock, right? Do that, please. And now, slightly, ever so slightly, lift your head, neck, and shoulders up towards the ceiling. So I'm not bringing them towards my knees. I'm bringing them up towards the ceiling, and then I'm lowering it down and doing it again. So we go up and down. You'll feel the difference if you go like this and you crunch towards your knee. It's not doing as much as if you crunch up. You'll feel yourself start to quake and shake, right? Lower it down, up, and down. I'm moving super small here. I'm not going up very high. Last one. and lower. Now we're gonna add obliques. So keeping my arms in my peripherals right here, right? I'm just going to crunch my right arm toward the top left corner of my room here and bring it back to center. So what I'm not doing is crossing over like a bicycle, okay? I'm going up once again, but I'm just slightly rotating at my torso and I bring it back down. Up and back down. Let's do one more each side. The last one, and down. Now take your hands, place them down by your side, palms down. Lift your head, neck, and shoulders once again. So you're just slightly lifted here. Now I'm gonna reach my right hand towards my right ankle and back to center. Left towards the left ankle, back to center. I'm not lowering my arms. I'm keeping them at the same height the whole time. I'm just doing like a little side crunch here. If your neck starts to hurt, you're lifting from your neck, not from your core, okay? So really try to get into that core and then do your little shifting move here. I'm just looking straight forward. Let's do one more each side. And lower down. Let's turn onto our bellies here. Your head is going to be down on the mat, like so, okay? Your palms are face up towards the ceiling. My tops of my feet are resting on the mat. Now, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna lift my arms up so they're about hip height here. Then I'm gonna lift my head, neck, and shoulders to look forward. And lower it down. This is called rocket, okay? So I lift my arms, I lift my head, neck, and shoulders so my chest is lifted, right? And then I lower it down. You'll feel this down your back. Let's do it again. If you inhale while you lift, it can help you get deeper extension. If you can only go here, only go here. Okay, only go as far as you feel comfortable and you do not feel pain in your lower back. Let's do two more. The more you practice these things, the more comfortable you will get. Make sure you keep the tops of those feet glued down. And lower down. Now bring your arms out in front of you. We're just gonna end with a little bit of swimming, okay? So, forehead is back down on the mat. I'm gonna keep my head lifted a little bit. I feel like my mic's getting a little weird. Okay, so pretend my forehead's on the mat, okay? Lift your left leg up to hip height, right arm comes up to shoulder height. Lower both of them down. Left arm comes up, right leg comes up. Lower them both down. What I don't want to see is you arching in your back like super hard. It's like you're pulling your leg out back behind you and then lifting it, okay? That's going to ignite that glute even more. Same with your arm. Pull it out and then up. Let's do one more each side. Try to keep your belly button lifted off the mat. That will help protect your lower back. Okay, now we're gonna flutter and swim, okay? So lift both your legs, lift both your arms, and just flutter kick, okay? Let's do it. Don't forget to breathe. Keep your shoulders down. I hate swimming just as much as everyone else, but it's so good for you. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower down, sit back, rest your hips onto your heels in a rest pose. You made it through. I would recommend doing this workout a few times just to help you get into the more foundational movements of Pilates so that when you move on to the more advanced moves, you will know exactly what you're supposed to feel, okay? Thank you so much for joining me. If you have not subscribed already, please do so. Be sure to like, leave a comment, share with your friends. Let me know what you thought, and I will see you next time. Bye.